got Arizona versus Minnesota, and off rip,
Brutal.
we've been talking about this for a couple weeks now, and it's just week by week. Minnesota, they just don't seem as strong. They just don't seem as scary as they were at one point. They just, I don't know what it is. I really don't.
Well, I mean, it's again like Darnold is playing well enough. The defense is still pretty good, but they're not that scary.
But
They had some early wins. We thought there was something when they beat the Jets early. Turns out the Jets are terrible.
yeah.
But it shows when you're in close games when the Cardinals are playing like absolute dog shit
See, but
and almost losing a game.
I mean, okay, so the Cardinals, I still don't know how to. I don't know the entire NFC
It's
West.
the NFC West, yeah.
They've been like it's like they're battling to see who can who can have the worst record and win that division.
Mm-hmm.
But the Vikings, I'm starting to think that like once you get past Detroit, the NFC is just not that good.
No,
Like,
I mean record-wise, it's better than the AFC right now in terms of like wild card teams and teams in the hunt.
Sure, but I'm telling you right now, there's more fight in probably both of these teams than what two teams that are winning their division right now in the NFC,
Yeah.
which is whoever's winning it. So Seattle and Atlanta.
Seattle
and Atlanta. I think Denver and Cleveland have a better
Cleveland
chance.
Can spank the shit out of both of them.
They have a better chance at beating Cleveland or at beating Minnesota.
Yes.
Than either the two NFC division leaders.
Yeah.
I'm just starting to think if you just looked at a graph, like I feel like it would skew to I don't know, just the NFC I feel like drops off quicker than the AFC in terms of just talent.
Yeah, I mean there's not a lot of teams that we know how good they are. I mean, same thing with the AFC. Obviously, there's going to be there's a lot of play over there. There's a lot more play at the top than there is kind of somewhere in the middle. You got the Steelers who are
okay. Look at
10 wins now. You got the Chiefs who've got 11 wins.
Okay,
there's a lot of questions up there.
But look at each division. The AFC North.
Yeah.
You have 3 teams with playoff talent. If you don't want to get you want to, because I'm not really all right. The record, the Bengals record is what it is. We know the Bengals are better than a lot of these teams with winning records. So
if the Bengals could clutch up on defense one time,
we'll get to that. We're not, absolutely not. I was fully expecting a Bengals defense to be the reason that team lost, but I don't know if we can
letting up 44 points in a game. And late touchdowns.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. But damn, I lost my train of thought. Oh, the NFC. So look at the AFC North. You got Baltimore, Bengals, and Pittsburgh, who to me are all playoff talent.
You don't think the Browns got playoff talent?
No.
We seem to think so before the year.
I mean, I don't know.
They have,
like I said, I think they have a better chance of beating Minnesota than 2 division leaders in the NFC. So you tell me what that means. I don't know what I think that means. You look at the AFC West. 3 teams fighting to get into the playoffs right now.
Yep.
You look at the AFC East, all right, starting to get a little weak. Bills fans will disagree and say that
sure, Bills they can do whatever they want. Every other team in there is ranked trash.
Every other team is no, I'm saying it's for some reason Bills fans in week 13 are like Miami and the Jets were projected to be better than us.
It's a division rival. Yeah,
it's they were projected to be better than y'all.
Clearly not.
Absolute dog shit. So it really has, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about now. But and then the AFC South is pretty weak too. But to me, the NFC weak, the NFC South weak as shit. The NFC West weak as shit. I mean, there's no top heavy anything in those divisions.
No.
And then you look at the NFC East, is y'all and Philly. And then really the rest of the comp is in the North.
Yeah.
So that's what 6 teams in 2 divisions. That to me, that's the comp in the NFC right now.
True.
there's two full divisions that are pretty much meaningless in this year's playoffs when it comes to the NFC.
Yeah, and I mean, there's obviously the Lions are the top team in the North, but you get down into the Vikings and Green Bay, and Green Bay's probably better.
It's
close.
It's super close.
But
it's super close. I still don't know where Green Bay is.
Agreed.
I'm not gonna lie.
But I have no idea where the Vikings are at all.
They're dropping lower and lower. I know we don't do a power rank. We haven't done a power ranking this year, but if we did, they would slowly be dropping out of my top 10 or.
But I feel like 10. It was that way last year. There was Eagles and Lions, and then there was a big jump until you hit the next NFC team. The Bengals were up there, the Bills were up there, the Chiefs were up there. There were a lot of other teams up there.
The Ravens.
The Ravens, of course.
Ravens were up there. Ooh, dropping it. But
the Texans were up there. There's a lot.
With all that said, they still catch the dub. They still